Like, let me know what I did first.
うかつに仕掛けるな。見かけによらずやるらしいしな。完全に包囲しろ。
そう簡単には見逃してくれないか。
I gauged my distance from them and looked for an opening.
どうやって俺を見つけた？
The supermarket people or whatever, grocery store people.
俺たちはこの辺の店や人間にちょっと顔が利くもんでな。つてを使って探らせた。
Open their big fucking mouth. That's what it was. Going outside put me out in the open, so I shouldn't be surprised I was found. Gilbert Redford had strong ties with the people here and was well liked. It would have been easy for him to gather information from those living around here.
Exactly. そろそろ出てくる頃かと張ってたんだが、まったくいいタイミングだったな。
Methinks you should have stayed in Arca. You should have found a place like where you stay right now in Creta in Arca, so that you would have free reign to lead to move about.
言っとくが、一般人を恨むなよ。
分かってる。
If anything, I should blame myself. But y'all gotta eat too. The Visconti soldiers had their guns pointed at me from all sides. Oh, how are you gonna get out of this one? I didn't mind facing them here, but now was not the right time, or now was not the time to fight.
抜けるなら攻撃してくる。その一瞬。
Okay, Orlock, let's see what you're gonna do. The fuck? On Gilbert's command, they pulled their triggers.
被害は最小限に抑える。
I jumped toward the nearest Visconti member and kneed him in the face. So, I used the momentum to jump off his shoulder. I saw an opening now. I quickly jumped through and flew past the soldiers. That should sound like a helicopter or some shit. I heard yelling and gunfire behind me. What should I make for dinner tonight? Girl, fuck that. You gotta worry about leaving town now. Seafood is plentiful, especially with the bounty of the sea in Berlone. I want some seafood right now, but it's Tuesday. So, you know, in this house, we do Taco Tuesday. I mean, I know, but mid-morning, you can have seafood and tacos, like fish tacos and shrimp tacos. Okay, enough. But eating the seafood over and over again might be tiring to Orlock. Girl, you just make it different ways. I didn't have many ingredients to work with. There wasn't much to do anyway, so I could think about it for a little while. Maybe I could make some sweets? Is it raining again? Oh, it's raining again, y'all. Ooh. Real nice time to be reading some of this visual novel. I looked out the window at the sun-soaked townscape. The days have been shorter recently. I wonder what's taking him so long. He's usually back by now because he got caught up. Something wasn't right. I had a bad feeling since this morning. The fact that Orlock was still not back yet worried me quite a bit. Orlock is strong to handle himself. Girl, don't you step out that place. Don't do. Okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sat down somewhere. I told myself to calm down. Unable to keep still, I stood from my chair. When? Please, please, please. Oh, my God, what happened? It lit his ass up, but is he alright? Orlock, what happened? I looked at Orlock home from shopping. My eyes widened. Orlock's clothes were stained with blood. Excuse me. Bro, I'm worried about you. I ain't worried about those daggone groceries. Never mind that. We need to treat your wounds. Let me take a look at you. You just sit over there. Thank you, Liliana. Get some authority. Get some backbone. Let's go. I yelled at Orlock, who was trying to keep me away. Unable to say anything in response, Orlock quietly complied. Let me take your clothes off. Try not to move your arm, okay?
Hi.
I need to take his coat off. Ooh, please don't let it be too bad. I removed his bloodstained coat carefully so that I wouldn't rub against his wounds. I'm wondering if he left a blood trail. Oh. A blotch of dark red lined his arm. Oh, probably a bullet got him. Oh, gosh. It looked like a bullet wound with the bullet still lodged inside. But that wasn't the only reason why my breath caught in my throat. He's so scared. Oh, scarred. Shit. He's so scarred. I could read, y'all, I promise. Orlock's soft white skin was covered in countless scars. Most of them only just healed over. He's such a sad bean. No. You say don't worry. You know, people are gonna do the opposite of that. Worry. He tried to calm me down. No, I don't like this. He had been wounded so many times before. My mind went blank just thinking about it. You know I'm gonna worry about you, boy. Gosh. I said to him what was on my mind. Ugh. Y'all, I do not want... If I tell him to don't worry about me, I don't know. Ugh. I care about it. I think the first choice is like, I care about you. Don't say that. I care about you. I want you to feel better. Let's go with that. Don't say that. Despite his injuries, Orlock was more worried... Despite his injuries, Orlock was more... Why am I putting more? Despite his injuries, Orlock was worried more about me than himself. There is more in there, but I was mixing up the words. I felt like I was going to cry. Orlock began to look flustered, seeing my eyes well up with tears. Baby, it's because I care about you. I don't want you to be hurt. I want him to take better care of himself. Just stay still. I'll take care of it. I looked carefully at the wound. I washed the blood off his arm and confirmed that the bullet was still lodged inside. Please don't go into crazy detail about removing it. Just say I removed it. Orlock raised his left hand reluctantly, seeing my pale face. He seemed unsure of what to do with his left hand, whether to help me or not. Don't worry, I'll do it. Stay still.
わかった。
Please get the bullet out. Back at the church, we saw a lot of people who couldn't afford to go to the hospital. I even saw one of our sisters remove a bullet from someone. How convenient. I still remember the procedure. Just stay calm. I took a breath and examined his wound again. I'll get the bullet out of you. Bite on this towel so that you don't...
必要ない。大丈夫。
Oh, Orlock. Oh. I nodded, seeing Orlock so calm. I got a sharp knife and some alcohol. I then cleaned the knife with alcohol and heated the tip of the knife over the fire. Okay, are you ready? Orlock nodded silently at me. He used his hand to spread the wound open. Blech, please don't. Ugh. I need to do this quickly and precisely. It took all my might to force my shaking hand to stay still. Ooh, child. I know the feeling. And when I played Trauma Center Under the Knife, I was known as Dr. Twitchy. So, yeah. Being careful to not to cause too much damage to his flesh, I carefully dislodged the bullet. Good. Done.
ありがとう、リリー。助かった。
You're welcome, sweetheart.
これでもう大丈夫だから。もう
Actually,
心配しなくていい。
we gotta cauterize your wound. If you say so. Okay, whatever. You could have cauterized his the entrance wound. I cleaned his open wound, then wrapped his arm tightly with bandages. My hand started shaking again as I questioned Orlock. Do you mind telling me what happened? Who did this? He awkwardly put his clothes back on before answering my question.
ビスコンティ。ギルバート・レッドフォードに襲われた。
Why is the Visconti after you?
それは。
Orlock closed his eyes. It seemed he wasn't sure himself. Well, you just rest. You need to sleep and recover your strength. I held back the paranoia I felt of other enemies approaching. His expression looked like that of a lost child. Orlock nodded in compliance, then calmly laid himself down on the floor. How long has it been? I slowly opened my eyes. I slowly opened my eyes in the darkness of the room. I tilted my head and saw Lily next to me. She looked at me and gave a sigh of relief. How do you feel? Why don't I have my little character right in front? It's his perspective.
かなり休んだから、もう問題ない。
I tried to sit up. Nope, you're not fine. No, you don't, Orlock. You need more sleep. Lily kept me from getting up and urged me to stay down.
でも、
You've been asleep the whole day. You must be hungry. Lily, don't you go out there. Let me get you something. You just wait here. No. Oh, unless you mean to the kitchen area or whatever. Her words were unique. For some reason, her words made me compliant. I couldn't fathom why that was so. Okay, Orlock, open wide. You shouldn't move your arm yet. You're right-handed, aren't you? She scooped some food onto the spoon and positioned it in front of me. It appeared she wanted to spoon feed me. That would be too embarrassing. No. No, let me take care of you. See, that shit with Nicola, y'all, I was like, are you kidding me? But with Orlock, because his arm was shot up, you know, I'm like, no, let me feed you. I'll help you out. I don't mind doing that. Besides being embarrassing, there was no way I could have Lily serve me. Boy, hush. I appreciated her thoughtfulness, but I needed to take care of myself. Absolutely not. Don't move your arm while it's still hurting, you hear? You're only worrying me, Orlock. I could really take care of myself. Well, you got somebody who's caring for you and helping you, so take it easy, pal. You got shot up. But I couldn't fight back against Lily's orders. Now open wide for the airplane. In case you didn't do all that. This was all too strange. Why was Lily being so kind to me? Because I care for you. Was it okay for me to accept her kindness? Yes. Before long, I finished my meal. Now then, you should sleep a bit more. Do you think you can sleep again? I hesitated a bit, but I couldn't stop myself from saying it. Ah, of course. What did I say? Why did I say that? I was always alone when I was injured in battle. Not once had anyone showed me kindness or care. But not once had I felt lonely. Lily was looking at me with a surprised expression on her face. Ah, she must have thought I got mad given what I said. Lily, I'm gonna slap you if you don't. Well, not sleep. Oh God, I don't want to say sleep with him, but I'm gonna slap you if you don't accompany him. No wonder Lily was surprised. Why, of course. Lily gently smiled at me. Her smile was pure and serene, just like that of a saint. If that's what you want. She stood up and laid down at my bedside, right next to me. The only words I could say were words of appreciation. Lily spoke to me kindly. I'll stay here until you fall asleep. You've worked yourself too much, Orlock, so you need to get some rest. Damn it, Orlock, I don't give a fuck. You need to get better because I care about you. Just forget about that for now. No matter if you're a saint or a warrior, everyone rests when they're hurt. Just focus on getting better. Don't worry about a thing. Her words flowed through my entire body.
わかった。
Her words were like magic. I could feel my exhaustion melting away. Lily ever so gently patted me on the head. Well then, how about a bedtime story? How about the Bell of Atri, or perhaps the Crystal Rooster? The Bell of Atri, an old tale from Italy about a large bell hung in a tower in the village of Atri. Crystal Rooster, an old Italian folk tale about a crystal rooster with feathers so white that it looked transparent. She must have been doing this since she began taking care of the kids at the church. Thinking of myself being treated as a child. It somehow stirred a ticklish feeling inside me, but I was sad at the same time. What an odd feeling.
あなたが子供の頃の話がいい。
Aww. My childhood? Well, I don't think it's very interesting. I was raised at the church like everyone else. Being raised at the church wasn't normal, or so I believed. Sure, there were kids without parents, but the majority were raised within a family. Lily accepted a life being raised in the church. That was truly amazing. Aww. And you can't imagine how angry Sister Sophia was. Lily smiled, remembering both the good and bad, both the good and the bad from those days. Seeing her expression change vibrantly with each word was making me feel uneasy.
そばにいてほしいって言ったのは俺だけど。
It was rather embarrassing to have her so close to me like this. What?
どうしたらいいんだろう。
Lily smiled again and patted me on the head. Getting a bit sleepy? Why not close your eyes for a bit? She gently held my hand. I really didn't expect that. Lily left her other hand on my head as she began to sing a lullaby. Okay, Lily can blow too? Okay. Bust it. Okay. I must pay her back for her kindness.
リリー、
What is it, Orlock? Don't tell me you sound like cats drowning or some shit.
本当はいけないのかもしれないけど、俺はあなたと出会ってからがこれまでの人生で一番楽しいし嬉しい。
Oh, I'm sorry. This is such a sad route. And like, I just want him to be happy. Orlock. She looked at me with surprise on her face. I wanted to tell her more, but I couldn't come up with the right words to say. Slowly, my eyes began to close. The warmth I was feeling inside me lulled me into a deep slumber. Orlock, are you awake? Looks like you fell asleep. I gave a sigh of relief. I looked at Orlock's sleeping face I looked at Orlock's sleeping face as I pondered over the words he just said. Orlock said something about not having the right to express his feelings. That's absolutely untrue. He had the right to feel and say whatever he wanted. He fought for me and got injured, all the while worrying about my well-being. He looks like any other boy, too. His sleeping face looked a lot younger than usual. I'm sorry, Orlock. If only I had the power to protect you. Seeing his sleeping face was making me feel guilty for not being much help to him. The following morning, I woke up before Orlock did to prepare breakfast. Oh, Sleepy Bean, you up? Good morning, Orlock. Oh, let me change your bandage. I sat next to him lying on the floor and unraveled the bandage around his arm. Thank goodness, it's not swollen. I wrapped a new bandage around his arm. Orlock? We should clean you up today. Let me help you wipe down your body.
手伝いいできる
Girl, you want to look at his body again. You think you slick, girl. Orlock blushed and quickly pushed me back. This was no time to be blushing. I needed to clean him up to ensure his wounds were okay. Please stay still. It's hard to take your clothes off like that. You just can't use your right arm like before.
そうだけど
Honey.
俺本当に一人でできる
Liliana's getting tired of your shit.
じゃあ拭くのは自分でやるから脱ぐのだけ手伝って
Are you sure about that?
大丈夫本当に
I helped Orlock remove his clothes. He looked embarrassed and apologetic. Boy! I handed him a tub of hot water and a towel. I was worried whether he could really get himself clean, but so far so good. Seeing that he was doing fine, I finally realized I was blushing too. Girl, you ain't slick. I quickly turned around, thinking to myself that I had just seen his naked body. And there's no CG for it. Damn. I'm just kidding. No wonder I was blushing. A few days passed, and Orlock's wounds were looking much better than before. I suppose he heals quickly, too. But after checking his bullet wound, it didn't seem to be completely sealed yet. That's why you should have cauterized it, Lily. Orlock was probably only able to move because of the strength of his body and will. As I kept thinking about him one day,
そろそろ普段通りに動けると思う
I wouldn't chance it, sweetheart. Wait, you should rest a bit longer.
敵の追撃がなかったのはただの幸運ここもいつ見つかるかわからない
Yes, we need to book it out of town first.
だからできるだけ早く移動した方がいい
But where should we go?
どちらにしろそろそろ食料も尽きるだからまた買い出しに行かないと
I know like this. Absolutely not. What if you were attacked again?
けど
We weren't in agreement on this. Suddenly I heard a tapping on the window. Uh-oh. My heart jumped and I started shaking, but Orlock calmly went to the window.
大丈夫。伝書バト。俺が飼ってる。
No, he has a pet pigeon! Oh, it's so cute! Orlock brought the pigeon inside and took the paper tied to its leg. What is it? What does it say?
陛下がブルローネに来る。
Ooh, how convenient. You mean Bishop Roseberg? Orlock nodded briefly, and I listened carefully at the sudden turn of events. Dude, all we gotta do is get to Roseberg, and we're good.
この前の抗争で教会が巻き込まれたから慰問にって。でも陛下はきっと
Yep.
あなたを保護しに来るんだと思う。
It looked like Orlock was relieved and glad to hear of his arrival. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Let me read that again, because I don't like saying that in between yawns. It looked like Orlock was relieved and glad to hear of his arrival.
ついにあなたをブルローネから連れ出せる時が来た。
What about you? I'm not gonna feel right. Despite Orlock's smile, I couldn't seem to quell the anxiety inside me. Bishop Roseberg was well known and respectable. But I had my doubts, especially knowing now that that he worked with the Lao Shu, and even from listening to Orlock's stories. Still, there was no way I could share my doubts with how happy Orlock looked. I'm really not sure if I can trust Bishop Roseberg. Same here, but at what point do we have?
今日はみんな静かにしているのよ。
Damn, that music slaps.
はーい。ねえねえ、今日は何があるの？
教会に大切なお客様がいらっしゃるの。だからお行儀よくしていてね。
みんなで聖堂をいつも以上にきれいにしましょう。どうか手伝ってくださいね。
The main hall was charred and damaged from the battle between the Lao Shu and the Falzone. And this was where Bishop Joseph von Roseberg was coming for his consolation. It wasn't going to be easy, but we needed to clean the place up as best we could.
私が生きているうちにロズベルグ様に会えるなんて思わなかったわ。町の人たちだけでなく、私たちのことも心配してくださって、とても慈悲深い方よね。
本当にありがたいことです。
私、ロズベルグ様はいろんなところに慰問に行っているって聞いたの。どんな人なのかしら。早くお会いしたい。
そのためにもお迎えする準備を急がないといけませんね。
はい。
Soon enough, Bishop Roseberg arrived in Berlone and came to our church. Let me see, what he looking like? He looked upon the people gathered here with kind eyes as he began his speech.
心ない者たちによって傷つけられた方々に、私は心から見舞いの言葉を送ろう。
Okay.
私は思う。幸福のために必要なのは何よりも平和であると。そして平和には穏やかな精神が必要だ。神に祈ろう。穏やかな心で。
What the hell? He ain't right, because that music with the fucking saxophone. is on. So he must be foul.
神は信じて祈る者。我々の味方だ。常に我々を見守っている。
And also he's working with the Lao shoe, so that should kind of empty into the foul part.
想像通りの素敵な人だわ。
The red herring, if you will.
私はこの教会に祀られている聖人に個人的にゆかりがあった。そのつながりからいつかはこの町を訪れたいと強く思っていた。
ロズベルグ様のお話、すごく有意義だった。
Bishop Roseberg was going around to each person here, holding their hands and talking to them.
町の人たちもきっと安心するわね。素敵な心遣いだわ。
何かな？
An old woman spoke hesitantly to Bishop Roseberg.
ラオ州がロズベルグ様とつながりがあると言っていたのですが、本当ですか？
Old Arca Lady A with the T.
それはありません。私は人々を支配しようとする者を許しはしない。
Yeah, he's foul. He's a heathen. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Fuck you. I don't want to go with you.
申し訳ありません、ロズベルグ様。おかしなことをお聞きして。
いや、謝ることはない。顔を上げなさい。
Lying bastard.
迷える子羊よ。迷うことは罪ではない。人を惑わす心なき者たちが悪なのだ。
Baby, that rain is coming down real hard. I might go to sleep. Bishop Roseberg consoled the old woman with kindness and wisdom.
ラオ州の人たちが言っていたのはやっぱりデタラメだったのかしら。
No. There was no way Bishop Roseberg would associate himself with the Lao Shu. Girl, you about to have a rude awakening. I have a feeling. Bishop Roseberg's visit ended, and the people who had gathered to see him dispersed. We were at the refectory serving coffee to Bishop Roseberg.
ラオ州の発言が多くの人心を惑わしているようだが。
They look related. Or is it just me?
そのようですね。悩ましいことですが。
そういえば、ラオ州が聖女と祭り上げていた娘は今どこに？彼女が自らラオ州に組みしているのなら放ってはおけまい。
I ain't associated with those heathens, unlike you.
待ってください。
I quickly raised my voice, hearing the conversation turn to Lily.
あの子は噂で悪く言われているけど、決してそんな子じゃないんです。
Hey, Elena, thank you very much for speaking on my behalf.
エレナ、ロズベルグ様の前ですよ。気持ちはわかりますが、落ち着きましょう。
いや、その話、ぜひ聞かせてほしい。
彼女は優しい子だから、ラオ州に利用されたに違いありません。
Yes, Elena. Even though Roseberg had something to do with it too, he was pulling Lao shoestrings.
聖女だってラオ州が言い出して、最初はそれを信じている人もいたみたいだけど。
今は違うと？
はい。教会で銃撃戦が起こったり、ラオ州のせいで最近治安が悪化していて、町の人々はリリーこそブルローネを騒がす元凶なんじゃないかって言い出すようになって、聖女を語っていたんじゃないかって。 そんな噂がどんどん大きくなってしまっているんです。彼女は自分が聖女だなんて思っていないのに。
Damn, she's loyal. The best kind of friend to have. Big up to Elena.
そうだったのか。それはとても心の痛む状況だ。
Bishop Roseberg listened to my tirade with a serious look on his face.
無礼を承知でお尋ねします。ロズベルグ様の受けた信託があの子を示したのは本当ですか？
それともラオ州の人が勝手に言ったことなんでしょうか？教えてください。
Bishop Roseberg smiled at our questions.
いずれ時が来ればわかる。
What kind of shit-ass answer is that? Just say yes or no.
ロズベルグ様にはきっと何か考えがあるのね。
Unable to ask anything more, I clasped my hands together.
神様、どうかあの子への誤解がなくなりますように。
Aw, thank you, Elena. I'm so glad you didn't get stabbed this route. Bishop Roseberg arrived in Berlone and finished his consolation at the church. He sent message to us to meet him at the hotel where he was staying. We left the hideout early in the morning to avoid the crowds. Ooh. Yeah, it don't feel right, but okay, looks I guess at the time it's state of the art and really luxurious, but new scenery. This didn't feel right. Exactly. Bishop Roseberg was staying at the most expensive and lavish hotel in Berlone. I'd never stepped foot in here before. This place was so beyond my reach that I felt uncomfortable being here. I had even heard rumors of famous people using this hotel when they visited Berlone. Unlike me, Orlock was walking down the hall without any hesitation. I breathed a sigh of relief seeing that he was walking fine, just like before. Orlock? Have you been to this hotel before?
ないけど間取りは頭に入ってるから。
And we're in Fauci, which is the Mad Dog Dante Falzone's territory, so I'm really leery about this. I suppose this is why he had been able to work as an informant. We stood before the room we were to visit. I knocked on the door. It opened slightly. Upon seeing Orlock, the door had opened wide, and we were beckoned inside. A man from the church led us in.
陛下、
Ooh.
信託の聖女リリアーナをお連れしました。
At Orlock's introduction, a man sitting on the sofa stood. This must be Bishop Joseph von Roseberg. Pleased to meet you. My name is Liliana Ardornado.
あなたが噂の。私はヨゼフ・フォン・ロズベルグ。
Yes. Bishop Roseberg looked at me with a sweet and gentle smile.
こんな危険な地に陛下が来るとは思いませんでした。大丈夫ですか？
Bishop Roseberg looked at us with loving eyes.
あなたとブルローネの人々が心配でいても立ってもいられなかった。
The people of Berlone.
教会までもがマフィアの抗争に巻き込まれ被害を受けただろう。本当に嘆かわしいことだ。このままでは 彼らは神を信じる気持ちを失ってしまうかもしれない。神は決してこの地を見捨ててはいないと暴力に怯える人々に伝えたかった。これまで本当に大変だったろう。
Bishop Roseberg spoke to me with remorse on his face and concern in his voice.
しばらくはここであなたをかくまおう。安心して休むといい。
Okay, so I'm fine, but what about Orlock? Thank you very much, Bishop Roseberg. I bowed with heartfelt appreciation at his kindness. I hesitated to ask what was on my mind. Excuse me, but may I ask an impertinent question out of curiosity?
構わんよ。何かな？
The Lao Shu said that you ordered them to protect me. Why were you working with the Lao Shu?
なるほど。それはもっともな疑問だ。この町を私物化しているファルツォーネからあなたを守るためにはそれしかなかった。
You know something, y'all? This is so random. But damn, he got some big ass ears. I mean, motherfucking Dumbo ass ears. And this is up close. Like, far away, it don't look bad, but up close, god damn, he got some satellite dishes attached to his ears. Okay, moving on.
強国には武力がない。本来、神を信じる心に戦うための兵器など不要だからな。
But Orlock is... Wasn't Orlock their weapon to fight? Bishop Roseberg continued.
ビスコンティはもともとファルツォーネとそう同じくする組織。両組織が完全に無関係とは言い難い。
Okay, so you wanted to go to a third party.
故にラオ州へと声をかけた。私の考えに彼らも理解を示してくれた。だからこそ彼らに協力もした。だがやはり異国から流れてきた彼らとは価値観が異なっていたようだ。
Bishop Roseberg gave a heavy sigh.
逆にあなたを危険にさらすことになってしまった。本当にすまない。
I asked him, are you as faithful as Orlock? Interesting. You're only apologizing to me? I feel as though I should ask this one. Because what about Orlock? Yeah, let's go with this choice. Is your apology directed only at me?
どういう意味かな？
Orlock, you twit! Your apology and your words of kindness were directed only to me. I was wondering if you were going to say the same to Orlock, who protected me. Orlock risked his very life to fulfill the mission he was assigned by Bishop Roseberg. He faced death in the battles that ensued, and injured himself in the line of duty.
Lily.
The first person to respond to my words was Orlock, not Bishop Roseberg. But baby, I'm worried about you, and you should be thanked for mission accomplished.
俺は使徒だからいいんだ。当たり前のことをしてるだけだから。
No.
むしろこんなに危険な状況になったのは俺が至らなかったせい。
確かに使徒からの連絡が遅れたことは否めない。
And you're gonna sass him on top of that? Fuck you.
だがラオ州が予想外の動きをしたことも事実。諸悪の根源はブルローネを荒らすマフィア。その事実は変わらないだろう。
陛下、こんな俺でも責めないでくださる。
That's what. Oh,
痛み入ります。
that's what you call forgiveness. Okay, if you like it, I love it for you. Orlock was completely blind when it came to Bishop Roseberg. I listened, hoping to hear words of consolation, but not a single word was mentioned to Orlock. Exactly. Like, dude, the fuck? I still don't trust him. I couldn't rid myself of the doubt in my mind.
本来ならあなたを峡谷に連れ帰りたい。その方が絶対に安全だ。しかしあれ以来信託はない。まだ動かすべき時ではないということだろう。
そうですか。
これは私の力不足だな。すまない。
いいえ、信託とはそういうものですから。
I understood what Bishop Roseberg was saying, but I still had my doubts about him. Bishop Roseberg looked at me earnestly and began speaking to me.
あなたは争いを終焉に導くものだと神は言った。私は神を信じている。あなたもそうだろう。
It is.
では今しばらくこの地にとどまってくれ。もちろんその身は我々が守ろう。
What about Orlock?
だからどうか安心してほしい。私が願っているのはこのブルローネの平和に他ならないのだから。
I could tell Bishop Roseberg wasn't lying. He spoke honestly and boldly as if he were a messenger of God. Bishop Joseph von Roseberg. Either he's a saint or he's a sinner. Anxiety was building up inside me. Contrary to what he said, I wasn't certain that I could rest assured just yet. Something was telling me otherwise. Chapter 6. Alright, folks, so I am starving like Marvin, and we'll continue on in another video. But, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you stopping on by. Y'all know my philosophy on this YouTube shit. View what you wanna, do what you wanna, and I'll see you lovely lads and lassies in the next episode. So until then, my friends, take care, take it easy, and peace.